Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today, I'm going to be talking about something that I kind of wanted to express my feelings towards, and it is the DLC, / season pass that had been announced for Xenoverse. And I did a video going over, the recently released images for Xenoverse and the season pass as well. But I didn't really touch upon my feelings towards season pass. I just said that I did plan on buying it, and I want to kind of, talk about it a little bit because there's been a lot of backlash towards it, and whether or not they're really robbing us from content, because a lot of people are saying that it's content that should have been in the game, or it's content that they ripped from the game, and I want to address that. Now I want to first start off by say, to my knowledge, that there is no definitive evidence to support either side, but I'm gonna be giving you guys my thoughts. Can't even talk straight today. Anyways, I'm going to kind of be I've been analyzing this a little bit and thinking about it, and the DLC comes out a month after the game. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was locked on the disc or anything like that. Of course, only time will tell. I'm sure if it's locked on the disc, Sergio M3, who did a lot of the data mining in the network test for Xenoverse, will probably rip those files from the discs. But to be completely honest, guys, I don't necessarily think it's stuff that was locked on the disc. And the reason I say it is that this game had been planned to have mainly Dragon Ball Z characters. Not GT wasn't a thing, really, for the game. Then they released the Super Saiyan 4 Goku images. And after that, I believe Vegeta was next. And then we had Omega Shenron and Gogeta. I'm not sure a specific order, but I believe those are, how it went down. Now, to me, that was bonus stuff. The whole Pan Trunks and the GT Trunks and the GT Kid Goku, that's all extra stuff. That's from the DLC, and as well as some DLC missions, parallel quests, and other quests that are being added in the DLC. Now, do I think that stuff has been on the disc? No, I don't. Do I think some of the data is on the disc? Sure it is. Some of it, I would imagine, is on the disc somewhere as a placeholder, as a starting point. And the reason I say this is because a huge argument that I've seen, to support that they're, basically ripping stuff off of the disc to sell us in little portions and content and all that stuff. Argument I've heard is that the characters they announced for DLC were stuff that were in the network test, and from what Sergio did find, that is true. There was files relating to those characters, but that doesn't mean the characters were done. They weren't done at all. If they were done, I'm sure Sergio could have brought up some character models or something. If he could, have brought up the what he's done recently is shown a lot of the all the outfits that were in the network test. He had ripped those from the game files and shown 3D renders of those. And if he could do that for those, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do it for a character model. I could be wrong. I'm not data miner or hacker or anything like that. But I try to use my best intellect when I'm talking about something like this, and I feel like that's something he'd be able to do. So I don't necessarily think that the characters were done at all. I think they're still not done. And you gotta think, right now they could be finishing up the DLC. It's probably almost over, I imagine. The game right now is probably being shipped. Well, it is going to be out in Japan on the 5th, and it's probably being shipped to all the US, UK stores to be released on the 24th. I believe 24th. Yes, 24th is the release date for US, and I think the 27th for UK. I could be wrong, but the game's basically done. I don't think it's on the disc. There may be some stuff just so it's less strenuous to install the content afterwards. Because if there's some of the content is already in place on the disc, then it's a smaller file size to download over the internet, and that's been used before. Another thing that I want to mention is the season pass thing doesn't necessarily mean that the DLC is all completed. I'm actually going to be using two examples from one developer, Rockstar Games. They made the Grand Theft Auto series. Max Payne 3 is a game they released in early 2012, and they announced a season pass before the game came out. They announced a season pass before the game came out, and they announced 7 DLC packs. Now, not all of these were very big packs, but they announced 7 of them, and it took about 2 months for the first one to come out. That game didn't sell very well, and they were put in a position where they kind of had to make the rest of the DLCs, and it took them about, I want to say, a year to get all 7 of them out. And they could have easily have provided other options to reimburse people that had bought the game, because they probably spent a lot of money making those DLCs and probably didn't get much return profit. But it's something they had planned. They had the framework of a lot of those DLCs already in place, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's stuff that they remove from the game. And that company's not one to remove stuff from a game, and that's not something that most developers do. If it's something ripped from the game disc, it's going to be pre-order stuff. Capcom is a prime example of a developer that will rip stuff from CDs and the game discs, because they will have the content released pretty close to day one of the game's release. The DLC will come out very shortly after. Xenoverse has it coming a month later, which gives them plenty of time to fix all the bugs and all that stuff, so it's not ready yet. If you guys want it to be on the disc, I mean, they can make another delay. If you guys really wanted to wait for the game, obviously they're not going to do that, but I gotta wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long of a video. I was trying to keep it short, but I did want to say a lot. Hopefully I don't confuse many people when I talk about this stuff, but I want to get my thoughts out there for you guys. Real quick, just another supporting thing that I wanted to throw out there relating to the game files and the data mining that Sergio M3 had found in the network test. Another thing I want to say about like I said, the files. Since they were there, I said that doesn't mean they were done, and that's true, because I'm using another example from Rockstar Games. Grand Theft Auto 5 has had heists. The multiplayer heists have been announced for quite some time now, and they've been insanely hyped up. The files from the heist in that game have been in the game for about 7 months now, and the game's been out for almost a year and a half. So half of the game's life, roughly, the files for that heist have been in there. They're not finished, but there's placeholders in there that are slowly building up to the initial release of the heist. In some updates, they'll put in a little bit more, data for the heist. So they'll slowly creep towards the initial release of the heist. But that has been it, guys. I just wanted to clear things up for a lot of people. I'm not saying that they aren't locking stuff off the disc and selling it to us separate. I'm just saying that's not what I don't think they're doing that at all, in my personal opinion. You guys can think what you want. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. I'll definitely be buying the season pass. $25 is a bargain for me. But like I said, I hope I didn't confuse anyone with what I was talking about. I know I had to say a lot, and I tried to kind of talk quick, and I stumbled on my words a lot. But like I said, that's been it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, definitely like it. If you're new around here, subscribe, all that bullshit. But I'll catch you later.